If you're watching this movie right now, there is a very good chance that you are going to make a lot of mistakes with your XRP. And I don't mean that in a broad or general way. I mean it without exaggeration. A lot of people are making the mistakes that will ensure they leave this bull run with less than they came with. Think about how crazy that is. We are in a time when assets are skyrocketing and money is coming in at record levels. But the average retail trader will still lose out in the end. History repeating itself is not theory. And honestly, if you don't act now and start XRP the right way, you will definitely turn into one of them. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. The 2 links are below. Make sure you see them. Let's get back to this right now because what is going on is hard to believe. A major event is happening in the markets that 99% of people don't fully understand. The place? Ethereum ETFs have finally entered beast mode, a slang term meaning they've started to perform exceptionally well. Just this week, we saw them get $1 billion in net inflows in one day. Here's a way to help you understand that better. In the same amount of time, Bitcoin ETFs only brought in $178 million. Ethereum's activity was more than 10 times that of Bitcoin. That is hard to believe. Why is this important? Because we already know that the next ones in line are XRP ETFs. A lot of people think it should be done before the October date, so September is definitely a possibility. Think about how this follows the last thing. First, there were Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs, and now XRP ETFs will soon be possible. And this is the important part. There have been times in this period when XRP had a higher selling volume than Ethereum. If Ethereum can make billions with ETFs, do you really think XRP can't do the same or even more? Since May, these crypto funds have received more than $8 billion in net deposits. The Ethereum Trust ETF with the ticker ETHA set new records again just yesterday when it received $640 million in new orders in a single day. During this bull run, we are in the high cap cycle. And this is what I mean. It's an easy pattern. When the next wave of money comes in, Bitcoin is first, Ethereum is next, and then the high caps like XRP, Solana, and possibly even Cardano will rise. This isn't store-bought money. It has to do with institutions. It is firms that give advice. It belongs to retirees. It's millions upon millions of dollars being moved by people who couldn't touch crypto before but can now through the controlled ETF wrapper. And picture the snowball when XRP ETFs are up and running. Wealth managers will really try to get their clients to invest in XRP. You'll have major donors who are ready to spend millions right away. You'll get hedge funds buying risk they didn't want before because custody was so difficult. Suddenly, all the boats are rising as the doors are opened. People will pay attention to XRP, but this is where I need to get you awake. At times like this, there is too much chaos. You get a lot of news all the time, a lot of which is fake. Take a look at the latest fake BlackRock ETF news story. It was repeated as truth by almost every YouTuber. The lie was repeated by even the biggest accounts on X and by AI tools. It only scared the holders, confused the retail crowd, and forced people out of their positions just before the big moves happened. So, unless it's straight from the source, you can't afford to believe anything right now. If not, it's just noise meant to take your attention away. Also, let me say this. Fake news is not just a little problem. It is used to hurt people. It's being used to make you lose your job, doubt yourself, and not hold on to your money when the real shift of wealth happens. This market is like that. The winners will be the ones who ignore everything that isn't important and focus on the things that are clearly true. ETF flows are speeding up, and XRP is going to get the same attention as Bitcoin and Ethereum because of the huge demand from institutions. And this is where blockchain technology comes in handy. This is the kind of world we live in, and that's why we need this technology, a world full of false facts. Think about a time when every news release, every statement that affects the market, and every government filing is recorded on the blockchain with a cryptographic signature so that it can be verified. No agent, no lying, no gossip, just proof that is completely trustless. That's where this is all going, and that's another reason why projects that make this future happen will do incredibly well, with XRP being one of the top contenders. Let's bring this back to you now. At this very moment, you're at a very important point in your life. You can either stay focused and get ready to take advantage of this opportunity, or you can get lost in the chaos and make the same mistakes as the average retail investor who ends up broke after the market goes up. I made this video because I want to help you. We're just starting the Ethereum cycle, and the XRP moment is coming sooner than many think. The ETF trend is strong, and there are real demands and inflows. Once XRP is approved, a huge wave of money will far exceed what was expected. If you think I'm being overdramatic, just look at what's going on right now. Ethereum's ETF inflows just set record numbers. Bitcoin is doing well, even though the media is full of negative stories about it, and the general crypto market is getting ready for the biggest influx of money in history. These are solid numbers coming into regulated goods that both Wall Street and Main Street get. It's not theory or speculation, and history shows us what happens next. The shift into the next high cap coin, which is XRP. Take note of this. When the Ethereum ETF news broke, most people didn't have the right reaction in time. They dismissed it, believing it would be just another story. But when the money started coming in, ETH had already made its big move. With XRP, the same wait is going to happen again. Only those who get ready before the news happens will get the most money. If you want to make real money on XRP ETFs, don't wait until you hear about them on CNBC. And do you know what's causing this? Self-assurance. People who invest for companies don't just randomly spend hundreds of millions of dollars. They're making big moves because they see that the rules are changing, they see an obvious use case, and they see the chance to get in before the general public. Right now, XRP is in a unique place. It's not just a speculative asset, it's a utility-driven cryptocurrency that can change the whole system of global payments. When ETFs become available, it won't just be players rushing in, it will also be banks, funds, and companies looking to get a look at the future financial system. This is where most investors will make a mistake. They will pay attention to stories about fake cases, or they will be distracted by popular content from influencers who don't check their facts. Meanwhile, those in the know will quietly be buying XRP through ETFs. And by the time regular buyers see what happened, it will be too late. That's how it's always been with cycles like this. And I need to say this again, because it's the difference between making life-changing money with this bull run or regretting it. There will be a lot of fake news. Do you remember that fake BlackRock ETF story? It was a lie that shook the whole town for days. You will get played if you let stories like that make your choices for you. You need to be able to accept only information that can be verified. And even in that case, don't wait until you are told you can. If you know what's going to happen and see the pattern, you can get yourself in the right place before it happens. Now let's take a step back and see what's going on overall. Soon there will be cuts to the rates. People are once again able to buy and sell things in the shops. Stocks are reaching new high prices. In a way that has never happened before, very large technology companies are making AI available to the public. There are other things going on that affect this. It's all linked. Money goes to the places that take care of it the best. And at this moment, crypto is getting ready to be the most important part. For that reason, Bitcoin ETFs were the first to be launched. This is the reason Ethereum ETFs are so popular. And that's why the next big thing will be XRP ETFs. Consider the mental aspect of this. At this point, the public is still behind. Bitcoin ETFs are something that most people have a general understanding of. Ethereum ETFs are doing very well, and a smaller group is starting to see that. And no one is really talking about XRP ETFs yet. That's your advantage. That's your chance before the story breaks and everyone talks about it. When that happens, the good things that could happen will be much less likely. The asymmetric chances now. Also, this isn't only about price changes. XRP is being used more and more in the real world. More partnerships and pilots are forming, and more central banks are realizing that we need settlement options like the one XRP offers. When there is a need for ETFs, those forces will meet and the rocket fuel will be there. And that's why I keep telling you that you can't make a mistake here. This is the truth. ETFs are just the beginning. Once the first wave of money comes in, a story snowball follows. Financial experts from all over the United States will be adding XRP exposure to their clients' portfolios. You will see big stories about money coming in by the $1 billion. All of a sudden, you'll see high-quality study papers saying that XRP is an asset that you must own. And that's when the store will finally get it. But again, the people who got ready early will have already secured their wins by then. That's why I need you to really take this in. There are going to be traps on the way. Fear campaigns, distractions, and negative news, they're on their way. With Bitcoin and Ethereum, we've already seen what to do. But the ETFs are really going to let the money in, and there isn't anything that can be said against it. There's already a huge amount of money being set aside for them, and no amount of fake news can stop that. Next is XRP. What is the most insane thing about this? We're only just starting the cycle. Keep in mind the order I told you. Bitcoin, Ethereum, then high caps, then mid caps, and lastly small caps. That's how things are going for us right now. This means that not only is XRP's time coming, but it's also in the right place in the order. This is as good as it gets. This is why I keep saying that most of these retail buyers will make mistakes. They will sell too early, worry over fake news, or get sidetracked chasing smaller plays before the high caps finish their run. But if you stay on track and know the order, you can ride this XRP wave the way it's meant to be ridden. So this is what I will leave you with for now. Focus on the coming ETF wave and don't let anything else distract you. The inputs tell the truth. There is a need for this. It's obvious that the object is rotating. XRP is next. If you think waiting for proof is a good idea, you're already behind. It is always too late when the proof arrives.